I have carried this secret inside me for so long, a secret that fills me with shame, guilt, and fear. It's something I've never told anyone, not fully, not like this. But I can't keep it buried anymore. I need to confess, to let it all out, because the weight of it is crushing me. This is my story, a story of obsession, deception, and a darkness I never saw coming. Ever since I was a little girl, I've always been fascinated by men of God, pastors, preachers, prophets. I didn't understand it back then, but I was drawn to them in a way that felt different from how other people saw them. I grew up in a religious home. My family went to church every Sunday, and I loved the atmosphere, the singing, the prayers, the sermons. But what really caught my attention were the pastors. The way they spoke, the way they carried themselves, the authority in their voices. It was magnetic. As a child, I didn't think much of it. I just admired them, the way any little girl might admire a hero. But as I got older, that admiration turned into something else, something deeper, something I didn't fully understand. When I went to university, I started dating a guy. He was sweet, kind, and loved me in a way that felt safe. But we were in a long-distance relationship, and that made things hard. I missed him, but at the same time, I felt lonely. That's when I started attending a big church in the city. It was different from the small church I grew up in, more energetic, more passionate. And the pastor, he was unlike anyone I'd ever seen. He had this powerful presence. When he preached, it felt like he was speaking directly to me. When he prayed, it felt like heaven itself was listening. I was mesmerized. I was going through a tough time back then. I suffered from terrible migraines, and no matter how many doctors I saw, nothing helped. One Sunday, after service, I went up to the pastor for prayer. He placed his hands on my head and prayed with such intensity that I felt something shift inside me. For the first time in months, my headache faded. I felt peace. After that, I kept going back. I made up excuses just so I could have one-on-one sessions with him. Sometimes, I'd say I was struggling with my faith. Other times, I'd say I needed guidance. Deep down, I just wanted to be near him. I knew it was wrong. I had a boyfriend, but I couldn't help myself. Then, one day, he noticed me, not just as another church member, but as a woman. He started paying more attention to me. Lingering looks, small touches when no one was watching. At first, I thought I was imagining it. But then, he began texting me. It started as innocent messages, checking up on me, asking how I was doing. But soon, the conversations changed. They became more personal, more intimate. I should have stopped it, but I didn't. The first time we slept together, I told myself it was a mistake. He was married. I had a boyfriend. This was wrong in every way. But the thrill of it, the secrecy, the danger was intoxicating. Here was a man of God, someone respected, someone holy, choosing me. It made me feel special, powerful. I convinced myself that it wasn't just lust, that there was something deeper between us, that maybe God had allowed this to happen for a reason. After that first time, it became a pattern. We'd meet in secret. He'd tell me how beautiful I was, how different I was from other women. He'd say things that made me feel like I was the only one who truly understood him. But then, I'd see him on Sunday, preaching with the same fire, the same passion, as if nothing had happened. It should have made me question everything. But instead, it only drew me in deeper. Then, the unthinkable happened. I got pregnant. At first, I was in denial. Maybe it was stress. Maybe it was a mistake. But the test didn't lie. I was terrified. I told him, the pastor, the one I thought cared about me. His reaction wasn't what I expected. He didn't panic. He didn't yell. He just went quiet for a long moment. Then, he said, "We'll keep this low. I'll take care of you." I believed him. But there was a problem, my boyfriend. If I had the baby, he'd assume it was his. We were in a long-distance relationship, but we still saw each other sometimes. So I made a choice. I let him believe the child was his. I'd call him, visit him, make sure he didn't doubt me. And the pastor? He kept his word, sort of. He sent me money. but never through my account. Always cash, always in an envelope, always handed to me discreetly. I thought it was because he was protecting me. Now, I know the truth. He was protecting himself. God blessed me with twins, two beautiful babies. For a moment, I was happy, but that happiness didn't last. On the day I gave birth, he showed up. I didn't call him. I didn't tell him. I didn't even tell my boyfriend yet. But he came anyway, and he wasn't alone. His wife was with him. She smiled at me, but it wasn't a warm smile. It was cold, calculating. He asked to pray for the babies. I let him. He started speaking in a language I didn't understand. It wasn't like the prayers I'd heard before. It sounded wrong. Then, without another word, they left. That same night, my babies died. The doctors said they suffocated, that they just stopped breathing. But I knew. I knew. After that, everything fell apart. My boyfriend left me. People thought I was crazy. And the worst part? I started hearing my twins cry. At first, I thought it was my grief playing tricks on me. But then, I started dreaming of them. Two little children, their eyes glowing red, trying to choke me. I tried to tell someone to ask for help, but no one believed me. Now I understand. My children weren't just babies. They were sacrifices, and I was the fool who delivered them straight into the hands of darkness. The money stopped coming. My life fell apart. I lost my internship, my friends, my sanity. I am trapped in this nightmare, haunted by the ghosts of my children, consumed by a darkness I don't know how to escape. I don't know if anyone will believe me. I don't know if there's any hope left. But I had to confess. I had to tell the truth. Because if I don't, this darkness will swallow me whole. And I'm so scared.